Welcome to the Copy Talk Podcast. Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member, FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Ross is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated. And now, here's your host, Shannon Ross.
Well, welcome to August Copy Talk audience. It's the first Thursday of August. We're in a new month, kind of the closing out month of the summer.
Blah.
Bummer.
I
love the summer. It's been good. It goes, I know it's so cliche, but it does go so fast.
It does. I mean, like I said last week, and if it was chillier today, I'd probably be in a more peppier mood, but it's definitely not. I mean,
I'm more peppy because it's warm.
I know, and I'm not as peppy.
Counterbalance each
if
other.
We're going to get closer to football, I need it to cool off. But
yeah.
August.
You love the fall.
I love the fall.
Great.
It's my favorite season in Colorado. And we do, at least we can say now, especially Ryan and I can say we have football this month.
That's right. Big news in the football world.
We have it tonight. The Hall of Fame game.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, Sia picked me up.
No idea
she
what
needed
just did
that.
for my soul.
Yeah. Raiders Jags tonight.
Oh,
hey,
that makes me
there
smile.
You go. That's good.
Oh, I needed that more than anybody knows. That was you're the best, Ryan. Thank you. I actually saw a post about that like on social media, and somebody beneath it like sent a laughing emoji, so I thought it was like a joke, like to tease people that there was Thursday night football. To which I was like, what a cruel joke. So
now you have something to look forward to.
I know.
That's
I'm
good.
so excited.
Yes, and we'll make some fun plans for this weekend.
Now you're looking at me like, good. Is she going to actually make it to the podcast
I think
today?
she will.
Thanks, Ryan. Save the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love your outfit, by the way. So I'm going to tell you something you don't know about me because of your outfit.
There can't be.
So April, for the audience who can't see us on YouTube right now, so she has her cash cow hat on her head. And her skirt matches the cow pattern of and many people won't know this, but I do. That's a Holstein milk cow you have on your hat. And
is it a Holstein?
And I was obsessed with that kind of cow when I was like 12.
Really?
Like obsessed. And I'm not quite sure why, but I thought like they were the most adorable animals on the planet. So I literally like decked out my room in it.
Are you serious?
Yes, I had like
12?
I had like little figurines of Holstein milk cows. I don't know if I come from my family is kind of from Ohio and come from like dairy farms. So I think it's also because growing up, like I was always around them. So
that is
so you're bringing back a piece of my childhood this morning, and you didn't even know it.
Well, when a lot of kids that were 12-year-olds old at your age, I don't think kids do this anymore. They were putting up posters of like Tom Cruise in the room, but not you.
Not
it's
me.
The Holstein
I wanted
cow.
to be a farmer. I think I always wanted to live on a farm.
Well,
which is still the case.
Did I revive some nostalgia for you today? I will say I didn't do this on purpose. As I was walking up to the podcast and I can see myself in like the door mirror, I was like, my subconscious today must have a sense of humor because I have on let's just call it tie-dye. I really wasn't going for the cow print, but I know it looks like it because tie-dye's in style. I don't know the cow print is.
Well, you look cute.
Well, and then I threw in a total different leopard print on my shoes. I mean, like I'm a hot mess this morning.
Well,
But I noticed.
It's one of those days.
My subconscious is funny because I have on a cow on my hat and a cow-looking skirt.
But if anyone can pull it off, you can pull it off.
Right.
So.
But if I gave you a little pick-me-up of nostalgia, then it was all worth it.
Totally.
And for the people not watching, they can't see how much of a cow I look like. So
but
it's
she
fine.
does. She is representing quite well.
That's good. Anyway,
that's really good. Any sanity spends this week or upcoming this weekend? You're kind of. You have your own agenda this weekend. You're stag this weekend. So I know.
You want me to lose my junk on this
No,
podcast?
I'm not going to ask you any questions. I'm going to be very careful of what I say because I know you're like right on the edge.
We're real on this podcast. Yes, my son and my husband are going out of town without me. They're going to Switzerland and Paris.
For quick, they're gone for not many days. Yes, they're going on a little venture for his work.
And but for all of you thinking, God, what a selfish mother she's not. I am excited for my kid.
I know.
I am excited for my child. He's gonna love Paris. I'm just sad, but I only have one, And I don't.
Sure.
We're limited summers left, right? He's 15 and soon.
Yeah.
And so I'm this inside of with him. I'm like, are you excited for this? And
Yeah.
But on the inside, deep breath, I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna miss. I
Sure.
feel like I'm being robbed. Anyways,
Yeah.
that said, I am gonna have to plan a lot this weekend to keep me
Yes.
busy. So
We'll
I
have
did
to-
schedule a pedicure this afternoon,
See,
and
there
now
you
I know I
go.
have football to watch. See, that's why
That is
it was
gonna
good
be
for my soul.
huge. Absolutely.
Yep. So I did pedicure. I'm gonna have to schedule something tomorrow.
We'll go to the pool tomorrow, maybe, or is that Friday or Saturday?
Something.
Whatever. We'll figure it out.
And then somebody just tranquilize me for the rest of the time. I don't know.
You might be medicated by the end of the day, but that's okay.
Self check-in somewhere.
Hey, mental health is important for all of us.
I mean,
so have a toolkit. We always talk about the toolkit.
I have a toolkit.
When life hits.
Yeah, so. I definitely don't like the idea also of my son being, in another.
Sure.
He's with his dad. I mean,
I know.
but still.
He's with a parent.
But we're so close.
But I know,
so it is,
sure.
Anyways, all right, yeah, that's my pouty face.
Yeah, that's your pouty
I'm going to be creating all kinds of sanities. There is no telling what I'm going to buy this weekend, which is totally not what we promote on this show as far as reckless spending. Nor is it a good Band-Aid.
Retail therapy.
Might be
Some people go to
for
it.
Me.
So. All right, what did you bring for us today?
So I brought yet another mask. If I know, I like a lot of masks.
Is this in your top 5 of masks?
This is I never run out of this.
Is it your top one?
Probably.
Ooh, that's saying something.
It's right up there with the clay masks that I use from Dime. I've had this one much longer, so I've had this longer.
So you never let this one run out?
I do not run out of
Do you do it once a week?
Yes, I do this once a week. And it also depends. So it's a hydrating mask. So it depends on, to me, during the summer, while some people can actually get oilier, I can tend to get drier.
Sure.
I'm just can be dry
all the pool days I make you join
pool
me
days
at.
that you make me join.
That you are under umbrella the whole time. Like I bake the whole time.
And I'm like, no,
and you're under the umbrella.
I don't want all the sun stuff. So, but this is a renewing antioxidant hydration mask.
Oh, I like the color.
It comes with this dandy little, do you see this?
That like
you can scoop it with? Yes. And then it's magnetized on the top, which
smart.
I love the little things in life.
I would lose that if it wasn't.
Well, that I know. So it's, it looks sticky and it kind of is.
Yeah.
But once wash your face, pat it dry. Don't put anything else on, no serums, nothing. And then when you put this on, you're going to rub it on and it turns white. So for those who can't see, this is yellow. It's kind of sticky. It looks like a honey pot.
It does.
But you're going to rub it on your face and it turns white, but it also warms while you're rubbing it into your face, which is my favorite thing about this. In addition to afterwards, you let it sit I let mine sit for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then warm cloth, wipe it off. And it also doesn't, it seems like it would be because of the texture that it would be kind of hard to get off, but it's not. Especially after it turns white. Yeah. Doesn't have much of a smell, which I actually like. I'm not a big, I don't love products that have a heavy smell. So this is Pharmacy, Farmacy. Honey potion.
At Sephora we'll try Amazon.
Same day delivery, Sephora. I'm throwing that out there.
Yes.
I discovered that last week.
Which is a danger.
Okay, so $6.95 delivery, but when I go into that store, I browse, and I'm inevitably going to buy more than what I meant to buy.
Your average record of charge in that store is probably...
We're on a show. Like, we're not... No.
50 a trip?
No, you can't. No.
I think it's triple digits per trip, to be honest, for you, but...
So, anyway, highly recommend, and it lasts forever. Little bit goes a long way.
I like it.
I mean, I use a generous amount.
Do you think you do a mask a day? How many masks of different kinds do you do a week?
This one and my clay mask are my predominant. Those are my dominant ones. I try to work in the new vitamin C mask that I bought too.
Got it.
But that's a lot of masks, and each take time, and each serum I do has time in between. This is why it takes so long. Different pH levels from low to high. Wait 15 minutes. Wait 20 minutes. Then a mask. So I tend to do masks at night for that reason, or sometimes I'll even wait till the weekend. Just because I'm not in any hurry.
Sure.
To get ready for work or anything.
Fun.
So that is I would definitely say that's probably my
And then after that mask, do you put moisturizer on it?
Then I'm going to do then you're going to follow your normal routine.
Okay.
So your serums, etc. Okay.
All right.
Since we've talked about
that
masks,
one looks cute too.
This is quick. I don't have much to say about this. Don't ask me about the ingredients and everything in it. It's just because I like it. We don't pay enough attention to our pretty little lips.
Oh.
So this is a night mask. It's a lip sleeping mask. I am not good at wearing like chapstick and stuff, and I like applying my lipstick once a day. Maybe twice if I'm going somewhere after work, but that's it. I don't like to reapply anything. So using this lip mask at night, and look,
A lip mask. It has another little accessory.
Cute? I know.
They're all so dainty.
So you don't have to get your finger all messy.
Yeah.
So then at night you just put this on just after you finish all your stuff. Look, and you got a little pink color to it. They have several different kinds.
It's like a fancy lip gloss for night wearing.
It's a mask for your lips.
Do you take it off?
No, it just absorbs in.
Okay.
Yeah, so it goes on clear. It's not like it.
Okay.
Yeah. But the older we get, those pesky little lines in our lips.
I burn my lips all the time because I'm always wanting to be in the sun.
Well,
so
that's why I'm under the umbrella.
After every summer, I do go see my dermatologist because I know I live on the edge because it's not good. I do get skin checks once a year, just in case.
That's smart. I forgot to say, I don't know how to pronounce this. Laneige.
It's probably a French word.
Oh, well, then you do it because you're more cultured than me. Laneige? Laneige?
Yeah, that's what I would say.
And they have a mango one. They have all different kinds. So
interesting.
I recommend it because it does help plump. It helps kind of fill out, deal with the pesky little lines that you can get. The older you get, especially, and the more you expose your skin to sun, that can happen.
Okay.
So highly recommend that.
Nice.
I don't know all the things that in it that make it so great, but I do love the result the next morning. That's all I can speak to.
Do you use it every night?
Yes.
Got it. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know lip masks were a thing. I have like chapstick in every car and purse.
That's what I'm here for.
Yes.
That's what I'm here for.
That's good.
I'm just trying to expand your horizon.
That's right.
Yeah.
My little cow friend.
That's
okay.
Right. Oh my God.
So we're going to move on. I'm sorry. All I see is
you're like or something.
I love it, but you're so cute. It's like you have a costume on today. So
it is like I have a costume on today.
Okay. So I am going to start a new series. We're going to continue the next few shows. I don't know how many, maybe 2, 3, whatever. So when I have people come into my counseling office, and I do sometimes coach younger folks coming up the ranks in businesses or what have you. And so and I have sisters in their 20s as well. So it's kind of all over the map. But a lot of people coming out of college or even younger or older, they feel like, and I think after COVID, this also prompted something dominant of, what am I doing with my life? Like, is it life-giving? Is it happy? Am I happy? Am I finding fulfillment in what I'm doing? Because sometimes life can happen where we have our heads down for so long and we're like, why am I even doing what I'm doing? Because a paycheck is an important reason, but that's still only going to last so long. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to spend some series of like, how do you know what your calling is? How do you get in touch with it? Each of us have different callings. Mm-hmm. And each of us, our life needs to look different to bring levels of happiness and to feel purpose. Because each of us have a destiny. Each of us, I really do believe, are here on this planet for a reason. Absolutely to cultivate our families, to develop our families, but also professionally, a lot of kids out there want some help, and adults. I think there's a lot of adults out there on their second or third career
right now.
Yes. And so it's a good opportunity to kind of think about. We all had dreams as kids. I think kids are great at this, like little kids under 10. They all have an idea of what they want to be when they grow up. However ludicrous it sounds. And I was going to ask, like, Ryan, what did you want to be when you grew up, when you were little?
This is not going to add to your cause. When I was 8 years old, I wanted to be a sports broadcaster.
Oh, that's so cool.
No, but it actually is going to totally contribute. That's awesome. Yep. So you're like living your best life. In a way, like it could always be a little better.
My best work life. Personal life was not quite as much, but professionally. Yeah.
Professionally, okay. What about you when you were little?
I wanted to be I wanted to be a marine biologist.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Then I went to college.
And took biology, and you're like, maybe not.
This isn't the best idea for me.
Did any other professions come along the way of after marine biologist that you kind of gravitated towards?
It was just get through college.
Okay.
Just get in, get out.
Yep. Yeah, all right. So we'll have some work to do maybe on your dream sheet. What about you, Cal? Do you remember?
When I was really little, I wanted to be the first female baseball player.
Oh, I love that.
I grew into coaching and I coach, so
that's so cool.
Awesome. That is really great. Awesome. I know. I'm so proud of them. Well, well, I didn't become what I thought I was going to become either. I always wanted to be a doctor and I wasn't. So, and I went fully through even college as a pre-med major. And then but I did make tweaks. So I think, and we'll talk about that. So sometimes it's not, what you thought you'd be as a little kid, but reflections still exist. A lot of the things I do, like counseling for me, helps still fulfill that kind of health requirement, just because it's focusing on mental health that also impacts physical health. And I'll talk through the series, kind of why I made the pivot in college and not going just full blown to medical school after, is I think because of I grew up and saw the impact that trauma had on my life and those around me. And I knew that healing was more than just physical. And I think when I was little, I always focused on the physical realm of healing. So although healing, I think, is a calling on my life to help people heal, it just kind of manifested in a different way.
Sure.
And the most life-giving thing I do, I mean, look, I have a job that pays the bills too, but that's not what really motivates me.
Sure.
To get up in the morning. But on my counseling days, when I see patients, that's absolutely my most life-giving piece of it, because it's still in the same genre and bringing healing and tying in different physical pieces and learning more about how our soul, spirit, bodies are all connected. So it's still an iteration for me. But there's what in my calling, what I let get in the way sometimes is allowing too much of the clutter to take over, too much of the paycheck to paycheck kind of, to pay the bills. And how, so we'll talk through, how do you continue to work on your life in a way that you can simplify it to get back to what your true loves are, to get back to what you were really put on this planet to do.
Sure.
And to what can you constantly be doing to kind of protect that? Because life happens and it can overtake this kind of areas of passion in our life, and they're worth protecting. And so what I wanted to focus on, because I have that kind of 3 phases, but today's show, I wanted to focus on one of the biggest things I think that hijack people's calling is a lot of dread starts to develop around their future. And when we start dreading our futures, it's like everything about us that makes us us gets really cloudy really quickly. And what causes dread? What causes us to dread our futures is the shadows of our past. Any kind of bad memories we have, any kind of things that kind of got us off track early on, or created trauma, or derailed our hopes and dreams. We are so scared of that happening again that we almost want to choose predictability and not risk anything to avoid pain.
Right.
So we've talked a lot about on the show, the biggest motivator in our lives is pain. And we do go to great lengths to stop pain, to avoid pain, to kind of compartmentalize it. And futures often get hijacked because dread is what they know. Dread is what they've become kind of comfortable in, and they don't want to get their hopes up ever again because their hopes have been crushed by one thing or another in the past.
Avoid disappointment.
Yes, absolutely, because they know that even though it sucks, even though it brings a lot of sadness into their lives,
but they're used to it.
But they feel like I'd rather go with the demons I know than the demons I don't.
Right.
Is kind of where we all can get stuck. And when we allow the past negative experience to cast a shadow on our futures, it also it kind of opens a door for just so many different lies and negative thoughts to overtake us. Because statistically, history repeating itself in the exact same way is very low. And but it feels true. Like, oh, if I put myself out there again for a relationship, it'll just be the same way it always has. If I allow myself to put myself out there again and dream again for the kid dream I had to become a coach or a sports broadcaster or a doctor or whatever it is, if I put myself out there again, what happens if this time it doesn't work? I don't think I could take that devastation
What
again.
happens if I fail?
Yeah. And so I get that it's scary, but this is where also, like the mental health piece, it is so worth, and I don't really think we can deal with the dread on our own that well, because sometimes it takes a little while to get under the hood of like, okay, what is really connected where did the dread start, what happened, and how to clear it out.
Process dread by yourself.
I don't either. I think
it with someone else.
It's absolutely helpful if you have a counselor who can help you process through, because it's hard to identify lies, because when we believe lies, they feel so true.
Yeah.
And they generate such negative thoughts, they almost become self-fulfilling prophecies. So they're sticky, they're very embedded. We get very entangled in that whole mess. And so, I'm going to talk about 3 phases, but today I just wanted to focus on, think about it. Take a second. Are there areas of your future that you dread? And it's usually not the whole future. It's usually in the areas you've had the most pain.
Yeah.
So, sometimes, like Ryan, you just alluded to it, professionally, you're living your best life, but maybe relationally, there's things that are hard to put yourself out there, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But what I have found, and when you try to build up a new neuro pathway, when you're trying to build up hope again, when you're trying to build up some faith again, it's often looking to what has worked well, that you have to kind of lend and borrow against. Say, look, I have success here. What did I do differently here that I didn't do here?
Yeah.
I put myself out there. I believed that I could do it. I started to take little baby steps of faith in that direction. So you can kind of diagnose what you did here that led to this success. And now it's time maybe to forgive people, or to try again. Life's too short, and we're not dead, so we're not done. Like, we still have time on this planet to try.
That's a t-shirt.
So like, how can you learn from different successes in your life that says, look, I can do this because I've done it before. There's proof. How can I leverage that for this new uncomfortable area, and go slow, like baby steps, like it's bite-sized pieces. It's one little step of faith at a time, and which adds to another, which adds to another.
Well, wouldn't you also say identify what you did, maybe where you did do things wrong or not your best?
Sure.
And that motivates you to change how you approach it.
That's part of the diagnosis for sure. And that's why it's a little tricky, and it helps to have someone walk through this with you, because it can be a little deceptive, I think.
Well, and I think you can, even if you're trying to approach it in a different way, like you're saying, if you're processing dread by yourself, I think you'll go right back to being stuck in dread.
Absolutely. Because it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of stuck. You've kind of like pitched your tent in the valley of dread.
Well, because nobody,
no one wants to live in the valley of dread. But nobody gets stuck.
People don't want to experience more pain.
Right.
So it's easier to go, well, at least I know this. Because if I hope again, or if I put myself out there again, or whatever the case may be, when I feel hope, if I'm disappointed again, that equals pain. And then that could equal torment, and that could equal, and I think also it spirals down to, I'll end up worse than I am now.
Right.
So
it feels so dangerous. It feels so risky.
It feels extremely dangerous and risky.
And I think the last 3 years, I'm seeing so much dread out there. Like, so many people have so much new fears about the future. And that's understandable. I mean, we just all went through something that we never even heard of before, that came out of nowhere.
It's not like the news is getting any better.
Sure. Well, that's another reason why I wanted to, like, we have to cancel out the dread, and we have to push through this, because there's more to life on the other side of all of this. But I get it's totally scary. But it also, I don't want people, if you're wanting to know what you're here on earth relationally and professionally to do, you have to remove the shadows that's casting that shadow, that casts that. It's hard to see if it's hidden in darkness.
Well, no, it's not always fun to go back to those shadows.
No.
That feels risky all by itself.
Sure.
Because who wants to relive that pain? But I think we tell ourselves that we have to relive it, and that's not necessarily true. Not when you process, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you process with someone like a counselor, you're not necessarily reliving those shadows.
Totally.
But
and to get out of those pits is a heck of a lot quicker to get out of them than what put you in them.
You can conquer
that's what
those
people
shadows.
Don't understand as well.
You can conquer the shadows, but there's an element of having to face them again.
Yeah.
But with victory on the other side of it, so that those shadows don't sabotage your future anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah. And dread can be like quicksand, which is funny, because I just read an article, like in the 80s, we all I think I feared quicksand a lot more than like.
Well, did you watch the Never Ending Story?
It was everywhere. Like quicksand was always on the list of one of those things you always had to be real careful. And have you ever seen it? I've never seen
quicksand, but the only reason I was scared of it is because of the horse in the Never Ending Story.
Yes. Oh, that was very.
I'm like,
I know.
My God, that's a real thing. It took that whole horse out. Right, the horse died. Yeah, didn't take the whole horse.
Yeah, and Bastion was pretty torn up about
the
it.
Name. Impressive. That movie.
I love that movie.
I do too. I have it on my Apple Movies.
Do you? It kind of.
I wanted to see my kids to see it. Yeah,
yes,
Labyrinth
with David Bowie. That's really weird.
Like
that movie cannot exist in the year 2022. I'll just tell you that much right now. That whole vibe that he was no way.
So yeah,
totally.
No.
So that's my first, just how to cancel out, like sweep out the dread, because then you're going to be able to see your calling more clearly. So that's step one. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to bring today.
I love it. I'm excited for next week.
Yes.
Yay.
I want a weird story.
Since you're talking about somebody's calling, y'all ready for this? This is so great. This is clearly this man's calling. Taxidermist creates stuffed animals for cars' rearview mirrors. You know, like your rearview mirror where people hang stuff on? A taxidermist, I can't even summarize this. A taxidermist has created the world's first furry mice for cars, stuffed real animals, which hang from rearview mirrors.
Oh.
Jack, let's call him Jack, 28 of Plymouth, England, uses rats, mice, chicks, and even guinea pigs to create his unique, get ready, hairy dangler motor decorations.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for Ryan's hashtag.
Dangler. Just take that in a second. Okay. It is the latest bizarre item from his company, World Around Ewe, like EWE, which has previously sold stuffed rat pencil cases and rat skull necklaces. Explaining what made him put it together, the strange decoration. Now, this is kind of funny. Jack said he wanted to add a bit of life to his car. Dead. But anyways, he explained, I was pulling into the car park at work with my car and looking at the other cars, and they all had things hanging and other decorations. There was a real lack of stuff on my rearview mirror. I thought it needed some rat balls or something, which, by the way, he already sells. So eventually when I put together some of these new rats on elastic, I called them hairy danglers. With the elastic, they bobble around and look quite nice. I considered putting in a smell tube, but decided it wasn't worth it. When I was at university, I tried to put together a scented walking stick, which really smelled of menthol, and it put me off of the scent stuff, whatever. Often mixing up different rodents and other animals. Jack said he's found a surprisingly large, but admittedly a niche market for the products. I mostly make them out of stuff in the pet, blah, blah, blah. You get
People
it all.
buy these.
Okay. You get it all frozen from the local pet store because they sell those things as snake food. He used rats more than anything else. I like to see how much you can make out of one rat. Making different things out of its arms, its tail, and now some of the hairy danglers too. I must have a dozen now. They're all different with different animals. I've sold a few over the last few weeks. I like that it captures people's attention. He has named his furry car accessories collection. This is what it's a collection.
It's a collection.
Things I've made from skin. They are available for purchase online.
I think he's a future serial killer.
So
I don't know. FBI, please go investigate.
I did go to his online store. And one of the things is like, so remember like Ken Barbie dolls?
Yeah.
You know? So it's naked. And he has taken the head off and put, I guess that's not a hairy dangler, but it's a stuffed, I don't even know what it was, but it was a stuffed that animal as the head.
Oh.
Here's a picture of one
I
of them.
promise you there is a pit in his like garage. And he tells people to put the lotion on the skin.
Seriously, that is a psycho. This is from Newsweek.
This is from Newsweek.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The stuff I had to click online. I was actually impressed with, like, I thought his website.
Are those googly eyes?
It's like, you know those little things you can stick on, the googly eyes?
Yeah.
Like Hobby Lobby?
Lord.
Yeah. This is one hairy dangler.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're fretting so much what you're going to do this weekend. I feel like you can fall down a rabbit hole on the internet pretty easily.
It did actually take me. It's funny that you used a rabbit hole. A rabbit is a rodent. He didn't mention rabbits, but I bet those will be next.
Oh man,
it took me a while to.
I think you should order one.
Well, I found one about somebody. Remember last week you talked about the selfies, and that's not the smart thing to do because that guy fell down Mount Vesuvius, but he lived. I did find a guy who was taking a selfie, but he ended up dying. So that's not a good story.
We didn't want more death from
family.
last.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Sad.
But
that's funny. Hairy danglers. That sounds wrong.
And there's quite the collection online. I mean, he makes some. He had one with 2 stuffed duck heads, and then they're mounted on this thing. It's a whole, Anyways,
interesting. There you go. That was weird.
It's his calling.
It's his calling.
What gives him
oh my goodness. Yes.
And in life,
I would say so. And a new revenue stream. I would love for that guy to go on like Shark Tank.
I want to know who buys these. To hang from their rearview mirror.
They'd have to smell over time. I guess maybe not because they're embalmed. They're like,
and he's just taking the skin and stuffing it.
There you go.
Weird, right?
I know what I'm going to get you for Christmas.
I had to.
You already have animal print. Like, it was very thematic for you today.
Yes, it was.
So
I was in
good job.
I was in a mood.
Good
I don't
job.
know what that mood was, but
if you want more information on hairy danglers, you can go to copytalkpodcast.com.
We'll put the link on our site. No, that's a joke.
How else can people find us? Our website, obviously.
Website, Instagram. What's our hashtag?
Dead rat decor. No.
Okay. Hairy danglers?
Yeah, no, because that's just outright the business name.
Yeah.
How about I thought your calling is calling, but that's like longer. And then but hashtag not dead, not done.
That's it right there. I love it.
I like
it.
that.
Not dead, not done. And then YouTube, subscribe.
Yes, I love our YouTube.
I love our YouTube.
I know.
Well, you can't see
Send it to friends, subscribe.
And if you don't tune in, you can't laugh at me.
Yes, you need to see at least April's outfit that she didn't purposely put together. So, so everyone send good thoughts and prayers April's way this weekend, and we'll check in again next week.
We're gonna send a welfare check.
But yes, thank you, everybody.
Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Ross is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated.